to Cuba. I'm AlysiaMontano, and I am spending time with my beautiful friend Chloe Jean, mother, wife, daughter, sister, an exceptional, intersectional human being. Join me as we keep track. I am so grateful to be in Cuba with
Yo
you.
soy muy feliz.
Muy feliz cumpleaños de Chloe.
De Chloe Bermudez.
Chloe, like, you've always been super adventurous and you've been optimistic. You're always like living life with an attitude of like next, and this is like the greatest thing. Oh my God. It's something you do, and it's something that's like, I'll look at it like the dog down the street. I'll be like, this is a great looking dog. You're like, it's so cute. Look at it like this.
Yeah.
You know, I think. Yeah. Have you always just kind of thought of things like that, or is it like a more of a trained? Yeah.
I think so, but I think as I get older, I get even better at that.
Yeah.
At making choices that are going to fulfill me.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at things as scary.
Yeah.
You know, because I realize now that every challenge is like a fucking scary.
No, it's great.
Now I realize that every challenge is a pot of gold.
Yes.
There's a pot of gold on the other side of it.
Yes. Yeah, that's so
true. You gotta climb the mountain to get to the other side, and you don't know what's gonna be there, but it's gonna be different, and that's what life is about.
And you're gonna learn something along the way.
Yes.
And like with that same attitude, you have been able to influence so many people, including myself.
Oh,
you know, going to Cal, you were the one to look towards, and
I was that bitch.
You were that bitch, you know, and you made it such a fantastic experience for everyone with all of the things. Like when it was, you know, it looked like it was about to be a left turn. Somehow it ended up being a right turn. Not saying a left turn was bad, but that's your life. You'll also be like, oh, what's wrong with the left turn?
True.
Yeah. And
I don't see things black or white or bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not that way.
That's true.
For somebody else, it might be amazing. And if I can see it through their eyes, suddenly that thing that looks so horrible is like.
That's true. Yeah. And you've had an opportunity to influence and inspire so many people, and now, you know, you teach music to children, and you have that opportunity to bring, like, you know, happiness to families, like their young toddlers. Tell us more about that, and like how you feel, and like.
I love teaching music because I get to be a performer.
Right. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I get that artist side of me out. And I have like a steady job, which is nice. You know, because somebody like me who is so, life is great, everything's wonderful. I need to have that stability.
Yes.
That's what being married is great for somebody like me.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, but I need that sort of, because otherwise I can be so free.
Right.
About life. And you know,
it's nice to feel like your purpose is like doing something like in a greater scheme of things, and sometimes the structure of a job helps that.
The structure of a job helps that, but a job I love.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And that's important to me. I could never work, I couldn't fake it.
Yes.
I couldn't go to some job that I hated every day.
Yes.
And that would be, that's the definition of health.
Yes. No, I
something
totally.
every day.
I agree.
With the intention of someday I'll retire and be happy.
Yep.
I gotta be happy now.
Yes, yes. And like that, there's like full circle to that. Like now, you know, you've always done music. Chloe's singing in the shower, down the hall.
Yeah, I'm always
practicing.
Sorry.
Warming up.
Now?
Yeah, and so now, you know, it seems like everything you've put your hands on, you've made amazing. You really have. And it's like, in sport.
I'm learning a lot about myself
in sport,
today.
fashion, and, you know, modeling, and like singing, it seemed like actually was like this like third tier, to be honest, when I knew you in school.
Busy.
And and now it's like the forefront where it seems like you're steamrolling towards doing what you want to be doing with it. What are you thinking? Like what
just being real. I'm not a planner.
Yes.
My sister could tell you that.
Yeah, for sure.
And it drives some people crazy because that's not how everybody lives their life.
Right.
Especially in the Western world.
Yep.
But I always just do what feels good.
Yeah.
I wrote
You
a song
say that.
called Do What Makes You Feel Good.
Do what makes you feel good.
You gotta, because that will lead ultimately to something great.
Yeah.
And because I have the perspective of, because I have the perspective of every challenge has its gold at the end of it.
Yep.
Even though I don't have plans and it's just gonna go wrong, even if I had plans, stuff would happen and go wrong.
That's true.
And so why not just be happy in the moment and do what feels good in the moment? With a little bit of planning.
With a little bit of planning, of course. Like, you gotta know, like, I actually have to go to bed, I have to wake up, that happens.
Yeah.
The first time I feel like you talking about your music, you vocalize the goal with music, like in just all your talents. It's like, Chloe runs fast, like next thing, next. But like, this has been the most I've seen you really look towards making something bigger happen with your music. And what is that for you?
Well, when you say bigger with your music, I have to say that every time I play it, whether it's in someone's living room, this sounds so.
No, I feel you.
I don't know what the word is, cheesy maybe, but it's true. Like that is literally how I try to live.
Yeah, it feels big every time.
The more amazing things just happen without me trying to.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Yes, it does make sense.
So my new project happened because I was just loving what I was doing, playing with random bands and dive bars, and that connected me to the jazz guitarist. Who I'm now playing with, who is amazing, and he has the vision. He knows how to book the right gigs, and he's got all these connections. And so my point of saying all that is that sometimes just doing what feels good and making that moment the best you can lead to amazing things. You know?
Yeah.
Bigger things.
Bigger
in the eyes
things.
of other people.
Yes, exactly. And that's so true because it happens like that.
Ultimately, I'd like to share my gifts, singing and music, with everybody, because not just my gift, we all have gifts that we're supposed to share.
Yeah, and it's scary to, I think, but like you said, it is scary to like look at what bigger is everybody else, and it's so true. You know, I'm not using that terminology because I know like, for me, running, you're not an Olympian. Can you get bigger? I'm like, oh, I felt like those experiences like never was that. If it never was that would have been amazing. It's not it was never about that.
It's hard for people to understand that because it's so shiny and like everything in our society tells you gotta get the job.
Yes,
you gotta
that's
get
true.
The house and you gotta get the awards to prove that you're enough. But that's not true. We are enough, which is something that is a lifelong lesson.
Yeah, and so but you did mention like you would like the Grammy. You would love to be a Grammy.
I mean,
winning
I
artist.
Grammy, but it's not even about that. That would be a representative of me following my dreams and sharing them.
But if it never were to show up in that form, it's the journey.
Right.
So cliche, like you said, but it's true. Like so much of that has been that, and I think that's what makes life what it is.
I think you're right. And the whole point of the journey is for the glitter and the gold.
Right.
It's the self-discovery and comfortability that one attains. Peace of mind is being comfortable with yourself.
Yeah.
And so bringing it back to what we were talking about with music and teaching, it feels like people think teaching is a selfless act. You don't get paid a lot of money and you're doing this for the good of other people, but for me, it's really self-fulfilling.
Right.
It's a selfish thing.
Yes.
I'm filling myself up by teaching music, and then when I'm full, it spills over. To other.
And that's how it's what I was talking about with self-love and
self-love is everything. It's not selfish to live yourself.
You have to fill yourself up so you can
if you don't,
let that flow over.
Right. We were talking about this the other day. When you do something and it's not completely out of love or not something you really want to do, it's evident. Whether you know it or not, there's a subconscious thing that happens where it's not an act of pure intention.
Right.
So if you're not filling yourself up and taking care of yourself, then you're going to resent saying yes to that person that could help you with that thing. So to be a good friend, to be a good wife, to be a good mom, I think you have to to take care of yourself first. Yeah,
that's
which
true.
I didn't always do.
So,
I'm very good at that now.
And you're very good at that now, and you're sharing all of that greatness with everyone else. How can we support you? Where can we follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at Chloe Jean Music. That's it. And I have a website, chloejean.net.
How can people book you? How can we have you at venues?
chloejean.net. There is a booking, and I will be touring with the Lush. Yeah, he knows. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
The Lush Life duet.
Yes.
Jazz duet. We are amazing. I just toot my own horn. Toot, toot.
Yes.
And we don't have a website yet. It's all very new. Lush Life duet. Look for us. It can be everywhere.
Perfect. And we will follow Chloe Jean Music.
I so appreciate that.
Thank you so
and
much,
thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, you're the best.
Because spreading the inspiration is what, that's what you do best.
Makes the world go round, though, right?
Yeah, you gotta share what you know.
Yes, you gotta share what you know.
When you find something that works with you, you gotta share it.
You work with
me. If
me.
you don't, then you're just living amongst people who are freaking angry.
Yeah.
You gotta help
That's
stop
true.
that.
That's true. No, it's great. It's words. Language is a thing. Okay, Chloe. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
I'm AlysiaMontano, and we're just keeping track. I love you.
I love you too.
Everybody, that was Chloe Jean. She is a moving body that keeps moving. We met at Cal, and we have stayed close, and I have stayed inspired. I hope you found something inspirational from what she shared on this episode of Keeping Track. Follow Chloe Jean Music and maybe book her or just follow her schedule on chloejean.net. Y'all, my goal on Keeping Track is to find our intersection with all of these amazing, exceptional human beings. We all have a story to tell, and I look forward to sharing more of my finds with you. If you or somebody you know keeps it moving, I'd love to help keep track. Stay tuned for more.